Hi, this is Vicki with Condé Systems Tech Support. Today we're going to talk about how to maintain your heat press. We're going to demonstrate today using the George Knight heat press 16 by 20 platen. Also, we're going to talk about the do's and don'ts, how to keep your press up to par, keep it running good, smooth, clean, get the best performance from it. I'm going to go over about 6 topics. Very simple instructions, very easy to do, once a month kind of thing. So let's get started with the first topic. Part 1 of this is going to be about dust. So we want to make sure that we have a nice clean area, mainly around the electrical components, particularly inside. Anything where you see dust, you can just blow it off. Dust has a tendency to build up, cause your press to run a little hotter. So you're going to remove, kind of loosen these 2 screws and then pop this out at the back. And then within here, take a little air can or something, just kind of blow it out. Would be good enough. Total of, a few seconds, 30, 15 seconds, something like that would probably be sufficient for cleaning this out. Then you're just going to slide the back tab back under there and then line it up and tighten your screws back up and put it back together. And now we're going to talk about how to lubricate the George Knight press. All right, the second part of this is to show you how to lubricate the pistons and the rods on your heat press. So basically this is your lever, and as you can tell, you move it up and down, it slides up and down the rods. Over time, those things start to dry out, so you want to make sure you use some sort of lubrication, high heat type lubrication, extreme pressure. Usually you can get this lubrication at any hardware store, electrical store, or auto parts store. You can also use white grease for this. So I usually just take a little Q-tip, dip it down into the tube, and then just kind of apply it on these posts here. You've got 2, and basically, you can do a real clean job of it, or just doesn't really matter. As long as you get something on there, it'll work its way in as you lift and lower it. So make sure you get both sides, and that'll help with lowering and raising the platen so that you get a good smooth action there, and also maintaining your press. The next part we want to talk about is when to replace your Teflon, and we're going to touch on also replacing, if necessary, or inspecting your padding on the lower platen. So as you can see, this Teflon right here is destroyed. So we have 2 types of Teflon sheets we sell here. This is like a mattress type, so it just kind of goes on like, it's got the little pockets, so it just goes on like a mattress would. So when you see cracks and tears, it's probably time to go ahead and get with your account manager here at Condé and order a new one. The way you store these, should you order it and not be ready for it, you want to kind of roll it up and put it into a tube or some sort of tubing to keep it, I guess, environmentally controlled, from tearing or anything that it could snag on. It's a good way to store it when you're not using it. I've brought in here a sheet. This is just a sheet without the pockets on it, so there's 2 different types we sell here. This is a 16 by 20 Teflon sheet, brand new. So it rolls up and stores real easily, so you can see you can roll this up and put it in some sort of tubing, would work great. But for now, you can usually just lay it on here, it's fine. Some people will tape it down, and that's fine also. Main thing is a nice, clean, smooth surface. Works much better than the ones that tear. These Teflon sheets will last a very long time, but and you can use them over and over again, but over time they start to crack. So you want to make sure you get a nice new sheet, periodically when needed, and just lay it on there. That's how it works. Your Teflon sheet is just like the bottom of your skillets. It's just a real easy to clean surface. You want to make sure you can just wipe ink off of it, or you can scrape something off of it. It keeps your platen real safe and clean, so that if you had to replace something, it would only destroy the Teflon itself and not the actual expensive parts like your platen and your rubber pad here. So let's get started on talking about the rubber pad. The rubber pad, I'm going to remove this. The rubber pad will sometimes need replacing too. The rubber pads, you can order them through your account manager, or you can get with George Knight. They will over time or sometimes get punctured, or they get little cuts or breaks in them, or they start to chip. I don't know. Very seldom will you have to replace it, but occasionally you will need to replace it. But this basically comes up, and you can get with someone here in support or call George Knight themselves, and they can tell you how to assemble the new padding. But inspect your padding every so often. Make sure you got a nice smooth surface. Over time, if you do have a crack or an indention in the padding, what happens is your sublimation area will, the contact will become weak where that crack or indention is. So make sure, get a good pad. Beyond that, we want to talk about your cord for your heat press. Your cord for your heat press is really important that you use the correct cord on your heat press. This right here, what I've brought in, is a cord like you would see on your printer. And as you can see, there's a huge gauge difference here. If you, by mistake, or try to substitute your press cord by using a different cord, smaller gauge, it could become a fire hazard, and over time, you know, it might not do it immediately, but eventually, you know, cause a fire or cause some sort of destruction to your press. We don't want that to happen. So make sure you're using the correct cord. If for some reason your cord gets damaged or you need to renew it, get in touch with us here at Condé, or again, call George Knight and they can get you a cord out, no problem. So we've talked about the cord, we've talked about the Teflon, and we've talked about dust, and we've talked about lubrication. So now let's talk about cleaning the platinum of your press. So once a month or so, you want to clean the platen, the top platen here. Make sure that it's a cool surface when you clean it. And you can use alcohol and some sort of lint-free cloth, and just take the alcohol, kind of douse it down like that, and as best you can, clean the bottom surface of the platen. You might need to get down, you know, on the floor and kind of look up at it. As you can see, this one's dirty, so you see the importance of that. If you have ink or stubborn, I'd say nasty, stubborn dirt on your platen, you probably want to use some simple green and water, and that will break through even better than alcohol. So again, this is Vicki with Condé Systems. I hope that I've helped in some way to keep your heat press up and running up to par. Give us a call here, 1-800-826-6332, or go online to check out our other videos about the heat press, how to calibrate it, things like that. Again, my name's Vicki. Thank you for your time.